The story of Ruth, a redeeming love. In the days when the judges ruled Israel, a time of instability, moral confusion, and repeated turning away from God, there was a famine in the land of Bethlehem in Judah. Bethlehem, whose name means house of bread, had no bread. Hunger pressed hard upon the people. There lived a man named Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. Seeing no way to survive, Elimelech made the difficult decision to leave the land God had promised to Israel. He took his family eastward to the land of Moab, a nation often hostile to God's people. What began as a temporary journey became a long stay. But tragedy followed them into Moab. Elimelech died, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Her 2 sons married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. For a brief time, Naomi found comfort in her daughters-in-law. Yet sorrow struck again. Mahlon and Chilion both died. Naomi was left with no husband, no sons, and no future security. 3 widows stood together, Naomi, Orpah, and Ruth, grieving, poor, and vulnerable. Naomi's return. Naomi heard that the Lord had visited his people and given them food again in Judah, so she decided to return home. As they began the journey, Naomi stopped and turned to her daughters-in-law. "Go back," she said, her voice heavy with grief. "Return to your mother's houses. May the Lord deal kindly with you, as you have dealt with the dead and with me." She knew she had nothing left to offer them, no sons, no inheritance, no protection. She kissed them goodbye, and they wept together. Orpah, though sorrowful, returned to her people. But Ruth did not move. Naomi urged her again. "Your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. Go back after her." Then Ruth spoke words that would echo through history. "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. Where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." Ruth was not only choosing Naomi, she was choosing Israel's God. A Moabite woman was abandoning her old life to trust in the Lord. Seeing her determination, Naomi said no more. From full to empty. When the 2 women arrived in Bethlehem, the town stirred. The women asked, "Is this Naomi?" Naomi answered with bitterness in her voice, "Do not call me Naomi," which means pleasant. "Call me Mara," meaning bitter, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty." She could not yet see that God was already working redemption through her emptiness.
Beautiful.
They arrived at the beginning of the barley harvest. Ruth in the fields. With no husband and no land, Naomi and Ruth were desperately poor. According to God's law, the poor were allowed to glean, to gather leftover grain from the edges of fields after harvesters passed through. Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me go to the fields and glean among the ears of grain after him in whose sight I shall find favor." Naomi agreed. Ruth happened, though Scripture shows it was God's providence, to come to the field of Boaz, a wealthy and respected man from the clan of Elimelech. Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and greeted his workers. "The Lord be with you." They replied, "The Lord bless you." Boaz noticed Ruth and asked who she was. The foreman explained that she was the Moabite woman who returned with Naomi and had worked diligently all day. Boaz approached Ruth and spoke kindly. "Do not go to glean in another field. Stay close to my young women. I have told the men not to touch you. When you are thirsty, drink from what they draw." Ruth fell on her face and asked, "Why have I found favor in your eyes that you should take notice of me, since I am a foreigner?" Boaz answered, "All that you have done for your mother-in-law has been fully told to me. May the Lord repay you for what you have done, and may you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." At mealtime, he invited her to eat. He gave her more than enough. He instructed his workers to leave extra grain for her on purpose. That evening, Ruth returned to Naomi with an abundance of barley. Naomi was astonished. "Where did you glean today?" she asked. When Ruth told her the name Boaz, Naomi's bitterness cracked. "May he be blessed by the Lord," Naomi said. "He has not stopped showing kindness to the living and the dead. That man is a close relative of ours, a redeemer." Hope returned to Naomi's heart. The kinsman redeemer. In Israel, a kinsman redeemer was a close relative who could redeem land, protect family inheritance, and even marry a widow to preserve the family line. Ruth continued to glean in Boaz's fields throughout the harvest, staying close to Naomi. When the harvest ended,
This is
Naomi
how we
formed
prepare
a
it for
plan,
the harvest
not
festival.
out of manipulation,
I see, it's
but in
beautiful.
faith in God's law and character. She instructed Ruth to wash, anoint herself, and go to the threshing floor where Boaz would be. After he lay down, she was to uncover his feet and lie down. Ruth obeyed. In the middle of the night, Boaz awoke, startled to find a woman at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am Ruth, your servant," she replied. "Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer." Boaz was moved, not with lust, but with honor. "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have shown greater kindness now than before in not going after young men. Do not fear, I will do for you all that you ask." But there was a complication. There was another redeemer, closer than Boaz. Boaz promised to settle the matter that very day. Redemption at the gate. At the city gate, Boaz gathered the elders and the nearer redeemer. He presented the case. Naomi was selling Elimelech's land. The redeemer was willing, until Boaz added that redeeming the land meant marrying Ruth the Moabite and raising an heir. The man refused, fearing it would harm his own inheritance. Then Boaz declared before all the people, "You are witnesses this day that I have bought from Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech, and also Ruth the Moabite to be my wife." The elders blessed them. "May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your house like Rachel and Leah, and may your house be like the house of Perez." Boaz married Ruth, and the Lord granted her conception. She bore a son. From bitterness to joy. The women of Bethlehem said to Naomi, "Blessed be the Lord who has not left you this day without a redeemer. He shall be to you a restorer of life and a nourisher of your old age." Naomi took the child, laid him on her lap, and cared for him. They named him Obed. Obed became the father of Jesse, and Jesse the father of David, the great king of Israel. And generations later, from the line of David, would come Jesus Christ, the ultimate Redeemer, not only of Israel, but of all who take refuge under God's wings. Conclusion. The story of Ruth is a story of loyalty, faith, humility, and redemption. It shows that God works quietly through ordinary faithfulness. He welcomes the outsider, restores a broken, and turns emptiness into fullness. What Naomi could not see in her bitterness, God was already writing into eternity.